Me and my husband are both 33, and we have 2 children together. While the children aren't biologically his, he is their father. We got together when my oldest son was 1, and we've tried to have a baby of our own for years, but nothing has worked out so far. We've even taken different vitamins and stuff, but still nothing. Over the last 2 years, our marriage has been pretty rough, and I found out that my husband started talking to his ex again. To get back at him, I started talking to one of my old exes too, and we ended up sleeping together, but it was just the once. Unfortunately, though, I got pregnant from that single incident and had to tell my husband about it. Even though he was hurt and upset, he agreed to raise the baby as his own and signed the birth certificate. We started fighting again when I found out he was entertaining other girls. In order to try and fix our marriage, we moved into separate apartments, but still he continued talking to and sleeping with 4 other women. He did agree to put an end to it, but the thing is, one of these women is claiming to be pregnant by him. Mind you, me and my husband are still trying to have a baby, but we haven't had any luck yet. For 2 months, we've been sleeping together during my ovulation week, but nothing seems to be happening. Anyway, the woman my husband supposedly got pregnant said she would do a paternity test once the baby gets here, but she also said that she won't leave my husband alone. My husband's convinced that the baby is his, even though he's never had a pregnancy scare in his life. His reasoning for this is that maybe I'm the one who can't have kids, even though I've just given birth to my ex's baby. He went on to say that maybe she's the only woman he can get pregnant, and because she's shorter, his sperm doesn't have to travel very far. Does that even make any sense?
I genuinely can't believe that OP's partner signed the birth certificate after she got pregnant for another man. There's so much baggage that comes with that, especially if the relationship doesn't work out, which seems extremely likely in this case. This relationship is super toxic, and I can't see any reason as to why these two should be together. I mean, what are they expecting the future of this relationship to look like? Let's see what the good folks are saying down in the comments.
Difficult Incident says, "We're definitely straying from the light. Although you don't need a god or religion to realize that people in general are less compassionate, responsible, and respectful to one another, these days, people are increasingly making irresponsible, childish, hurtful, and dangerous decisions, and these decisions affect kids. Moreover, this is considered acceptable behavior in American pop culture and social media today." Richard's World again says, "He was a fool to sign the birth certificate. You're both cheaters. The fact that you had another man's child while married should be the end of your relationship. Your husband's obviously wanting to have a child of his own, so if he does have one with another woman, you're history. Why doesn't he get himself tested to make sure he's able to have kids?"
This relationship is too much for me, and a part of me doesn't even think it's real because it's so ridiculous.
I'm 36, my wife's 33, and we've been together for 6 years. Everything was great until March, which is when she left me for a younger guy. We didn't have any real problems, and there was no prior infidelity. I had a good job and was able to support us both while she was in school getting her degree. We were even planning for a kid next year, and we lived together for 5 of the 6 years we were together. My wife met a younger guy at school. He's 33 like her, and she started hanging out with him, even though I was uncomfortable with it. I was reassured for months that he was only a friend, and he came to the house and met me twice. When it comes to him, I've always had a bad feeling. I could only imagine if things were flipped, and I hung out with a younger girl from school and brought her home. 2 months into knowing him, she told me that he asked her out on a date, and she agreed. I was, and still am, madly in love with her. She's been all I've known throughout my 30s, and I've not had an interest in anyone else. I want to keep building our family, not starting over. Their thing lasted for about 2 months and ended very poorly. During that time, she was still living with me, and I was still supporting her through school. She reassured me early on that she wasn't actually interested in him long term. She just needed to get it out of her system so she could focus on us and our future. Hearing that back now, I must have been incredibly stupid to accept it. Still, I continued to support her. As I said, they had a very bad breakup. She came to me, apologizing for everything she did, and said that she didn't know what she was thinking. She regrets it all and wants to work on us. She never wanted anything like that and missed me through it all. Still, she needed to fully get it out of her system before she could move on and not have those feelings in the future. Again, if this was flipped, and I left her to do this, it would have been a different story. Despite all of this, she continued talking to him at school, through text, on the phone, and video calling. She was doing this regularly, while reassuring me that she doesn't want him and wants to work on us. I've been uncomfortable with this, and she's gone out to see him a few times since their thing ended. I feel like something's obviously wrong, since she'll still talk to me about him, and even tries to impress him. At my expense, I might add. She's almost giving him the impression that she wants him back so he doesn't get involved with any other girls. When he started dating someone else, my wife got attached to him again, wanting to hang out with him after work. While she was doing this, she was telling me that she doesn't want him for a relationship. She only wants me. After telling this story, I feel like I know the answer, but this situation has messed with my head. I feel like whenever we work towards getting back on track, she starts to lead him on again and distances herself from me. It's almost as if she's trying to give both of us the impression that things will work out. What do you do when you love someone so much that you put yourself through ongoing pain in hopes of a brighter future? I feel like I need to give up, but I also feel like we can get back to what we once had. The longer this goes on, the more I feel myself distancing from my wife.
This relationship is pretty much a wrap. When OP said that she's never cheated on him before, I don't see how he can be so confident about that. To me, it doesn't look like OP's partner wants him at all. Instead, she just doesn't want to let go of whatever comforts he provides. If she really wanted to work on their relationship, she would have cut off this other guy immediately. But it's quite the opposite. OP should stop paying attention to what his wife is telling him, and instead, focus on the things she's doing. Even if they somehow get past this, I don't see how OP could ever really trust her again. While I don't know OP, it sounds like he lacks confidence in his ability to build a life with someone new, which is why he can't let go of this toxic relationship. But let's see if anyone in the comments agrees.
Alternative photo says, "Sorry to hear this, but you're her backup plan. She doesn't respect you or the marriage, and she's there because it didn't work out with the other guy, and you sat by and allowed it to happen. Where is your self-respect? You need to file, serve, and divorce, because this behavior will only repeat itself in the future because you've shown her that you're willing to accept it. You're being played. Research the gray rock and 180 method, then implement it. Don't play the pick-me dance. Beg, plead, or cry. Instead, go stone cold. Otherwise, you show weakness and she'll use that against you. Don't allow blame shifting, gaslighting, or Darvo. She is 100% responsible for the affair, so accept nothing less. Show her the consequences of her affair and walk away, not your monkey, not your circus. For the love of God, please leave her. Godspeed." T says, "You're literally supporting her while she gets to sleep with and pursue someone else while going to school. He probably can't provide the lifestyle that you can, just the fun. You're the stable choice, so she technically needs you, but wants him. Drop her because she's playing games, even if she gets this out of her system. You've allowed her to break so many boundaries that she more than likely will step out again in the future. She knows that she just has to tell you that she's considering working things out without actually doing it. She's not a teenager, she's a married woman acting childish."
Honestly, I couldn't have worded it better myself. Let's hope that OP doesn't stay in this toxic loop for much longer. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.